UFC Vegas 64 weigh-in recap show, full card predictions, and the betting breakdown. Main event, Marina Rodriguez versus Amanda Lemos. Make sure you guys smash that like button if you're new, subscribe. Turn those post notifications on and make sure to share the video as well. We will talk about each of the matchups on the card after seeing the fighters on the scales. First fight of the night, Ramona Pascual versus Tamires Vidal. The pick here has been Vidal throughout the week. Pascual also comes in at 137. This is her first time in the UFC's women's bantamweight division. Has a little bit of issue with the scale. I'm not all that surprised that she did because she's pretty well built even for women's flyweight. She's a thick girl. Tamires Vidal, to me, I think she's going to have the jiu-jitsu advantage if it does get to the floor. I do think the Muay Thai is fairly tight between both of them, but I think Vidal packs a little bit bigger of a punch. I'm picking Vidal to win this fight. I do think she can take it on the cards. She has that bullying pressure style, and even her takedowns, it's a very bullying style of takedowns as opposed to your traditional, wrestling double legs with elite level technique. She's going to power girls to the ground. I think she can probably get Pascual down a few times here, work her against the cage and get it on the cards. The scales, though, here is Tamires Vidal getting ready for that UFC debut. There is Ramona Pascual. You can kind of see she had a difficult weight cut there. Could affect her gas tank. She is, naturally the bigger girl of the two. And it shows why she was fighting up a weight class for a while. Let's just show it right here. Size difference is not a huge factor as the screen's kind of flicking towards Jake Hadley. We're riding with Vidal to win. I don't love betting side of this fight. Odds minus 130 for Vidal. Pascual plus 110. As far as over-unders, maybe, I like the over more so than anything. It's around minus 230. I think that would probably be the best bet on this one. Don't love the money lines on either side with Vidal making the debut. Pick Tamires Vidal, but I don't love the bet in this one. Next fight on the card, Jake Hadley versus Carlos Candelario. Fun flyweight fight. Candelario misses weight. He comes in at 128.5. That's 2.5 pounds over that flyweight limit. He's already on, I want to say thin ice with the UFC because, he lost on Contender Series, got signed. He then lost his debut. I think he's going to lose here to Jake Hadley. The pick has been Hadley throughout the week. I didn't think he'd definitely be getting cut after this one, but if he loses pretty handily here, also missing weight, there's a good chance he's getting cut from the UFC. He's also 31 years of age, especially for flyweight. That's up there. I like Jake Hadley's chances. I've been picking him all week. Submission skill set. Dangerous on top, dangerous with his stand-up. Both guys southpaws. Definitely, I think Hadley has the more effective boxing style striking of the two. I'm picking him to win the fight. I do think he probably does get it done on the cards. As far as the scales, there's Jake Hadley looking good, lean, and ready to rock. There's Candelario, who looks in pretty good shape. Couldn't make that weight, though. He's going to have to move up to 135 pounds. And it's not like he's a big guy, even at this weight class. Him and Jake Hadley near the same size. Height 5'8" to 5'7". I guess 5'8's fairly tall for flyweight. So Candelario, next one, probably will have to be up a weight class. I'm picking Jake Hadley to win either way, though. And I really think he's a quality prospect. And he's a really good pick here. Wide line, minus 275. Hadley, Candelario, plus 215. As far as the prop sides, I think an over is another decent play. I like over in this fight a good amount, minus 210, but I wouldn't really push you towards the prop betting or the over-unders here. I think you're better off just money lining it, but I will read off decision win for Jake Hadley. It's upwards of plus 130, but it's also even in the minus 175 range, depending where you're at. I like Jake Hadley, money line attack, very confident pick that he beats Carlos Candelario here and gets himself his first UFC win. Next fight on the card, Johnny Munoz Jr. and Liudvik Sholinian. I'm picking Johnny Munoz Jr. to win. I think he's the more athletic guy. I've been picking him throughout the entire week. I know Liudvik has good wrestling, but he's not super impressive. As I said, he's not as athletic. I think that he's going to be lacking in the speed department. A little bit on the flat-footedish side. I don't think Johnny Munoz Jr. is this dynamite striker, but he's a little bit quicker on the feet. I think he's more explosive. I think that could be a big difference maker. Wrestling-wise, I could see it being fairly competitive. I'm picking Johnny Munoz Jr. to take this one on the cards, though. I do think he can get the win by a decision. As far as the scales, there is Johnny Munoz Jr. He looks incredible on the scale, actually. Liudvik, he actually looks really good as well, lean and ready to go. Both guys on weight. There's a little Diaz-esque shoulder position by Johnny Munoz. He does look very thin from the side, man. Holy shit. Big weight cuts, though, to get down to 125. I'm going to pick Munoz on the decision. I think he can get this one done. He's a really wide favorite, though, and for what the odds are looking like, I don't like the bet. This should be a more near pick'ems fight. If the odds were minus 150 for Munoz Jr., minus 125, even upwards of minus 180, but minus 250, minus 230 on the lower end, I personally think better off staying away betting, but I do think Johnny Munoz Jr. can win. Liudvik, underdog, plus 200 money. And I do kind of feel like this one's going long as well, minus 200. I hope we don't get all decisions, but early I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of decisions on the prelims. But I do hope that we get some finishes. Pick is Johnny Munoz Jr. I think he beats Liudvik Sholinian. But yeah, wide line, not the best bet. Next fight on the card, Jinh Frey versus Polyana Viana. I'm picking Jinh Frey. She's an underdog. She's going to be able to control where the fight goes. Viana accepts bottom position. Frey can strike for sure. Viana's got nasty kicks, but the boxing is a little so-so. The chin's a little high. You know, from distance, she has okay punches, but sometimes they're very arm punch-like as opposed to really getting her full body weight into the shots. I just think Frey's more well-rounded, and I don't see her getting put on her back. I don't really see her being stupid from the top and getting caught in anything kind of random. I think Viana has a tricky arm bar for sure, but I don't see Frey getting tapped. I'll pick Frey to win it on the cards. We'll check out the scales first, though. There is Jinh Frey. There is Polyana Viana. And there's the face-off between these ladies. See, Frey's a bit shorter, but she's pretty jacked. She's got that good bicep right there. She's a strong girl. I think she's got a big physical strength advantage here. As far as the odds, Frey is an underdog. She's upwards of like plus 120. Polyana Viana in that minus 145 range. I feel like Jinh Frey to win. Money line is the way to go. I do think she gets it done on the cards, though. So if you were to touch a prop decision, upwards of plus 170 on the wider side, but it's not that wide everywhere. Money line is your best attack, and you're still getting a good plus money value for it, and I think there's a really good chance that Jinh Frey is getting her hand raised. Let's keep moving up. I do like that Frey underdog, though. I do. I'm feeling good about it. Next fight, Bautista and Benito Lopez. Another weight miss on this card. Benito Lopez, 138.5. Comes in 2.5 pounds over. He hasn't fought since 3 years and 3 months ago. It's a damn while back. It was a win over Vince Morales. I'm picking Bautista. I think he's going to get the submission in this fight. He should get it to the floor and beat up Benito Lopez from there. Lopez been off for too long. I think they're throwing him a guy that's not going to be easy to come back. It's like a first out. You throw him Bautista. Not a good idea. Lopez got good striking. He's a team alpha male guy, so it's not like he can't wrestle. He definitely has good kicks from distance. But I think Bautista's going to have him on his back, so it doesn't really matter how good his distance striking is here. There is Benito Lopez, who missed weight, and he looks soft. And come on, Bautista looks jacked. And there's the face-off. These guys near the same height. Yeah, I think Bautista's getting him in this one, guys, with some strong confidence. He's a really wide favorite. It's actually swelled a fucking ton. He's around minus 350 now, whereas Benito Lopez is around that plus 250 range. Yeah, we're riding with Bautista to get the hand raised. Let's see. What else can we do here? What else is there? Is there the sneaky prop? Yeah, we talked about it all week. Bautista sub, plus 425. Boom. Snipe that shit. I think the sub is worth playing. The money line you probably can't play at this point. It's gotten too wide, so if you didn't attack it earlier on in the week, you're probably not getting it now. Maybe a parlay piece, Bautista. We'll talk parlays at the end. But ultimately, I do think it could be a decent idea to play that sub prop. It's wide enough, and I think it's pretty damn likely that it comes through. I'm riding with Bautista win by submission. Official prediction, too. Next fight on the card, Miranda, Fear the Maverick, and Shanna Young. This is a rematch, though their first fight was an exhibition. It was because it was a one-round scheduled tournament bout, and Maverick won by first-round submission. I think she's going to win by first-round submission again. I see rear naked choke. I see it kind of rinse-repeat of the last one. I see Maverick getting her to the floor, controlling her, working her a bit from top, probably working towards the back and choking her out. I don't think Shanna Young has much of a chance when Miranda Maverick gets a hold of her here. So I've been riding Maverick confidently throughout the entire week. As far as these ladies on the scales, there is Shanna Young, who on the first try missed weight, but made it on the second try and had to cut some hair off. Respect that. I respect that. I respect that by Shanna Young. There's Miranda Maverick, who's looking pretty jacked. The height difference doesn't seem crazy here. 5'3 to 5'7, but this looks 5'5 to 5'7. So maybe Shanna Young's more around 5'5.5. I think Miranda Maverick gets her down, and I think she's going to work her from the top position. Miranda Maverick, win by submission. The money line is crazy wide. She might as well be a Nurmagomedov at this point. She's minus 700, minus 800. It's extremely wide everywhere. Shanna Young, plus 500. Looking at the potential props to play, under 2.5, sitting at minus 105. I think there is a finish. This is a ladies fight. I see a finish. But I think you go Maverick win by sub. That's what she did last time, plus 150. I'm not saying go crazy on the line, but I think you can touch that line because that's probably the method of victory she's going to get. Is it impossible? She goes out there and wins a decision? No, but I'm going to say submission's pretty damn likely here. We'll ride it with Miranda Maverick by sub. I don't like the money line, but I like the sub prop line. Next fight is featured prelim. Darrick Minner versus Sholinian Nuerdanbieke. I've been picking Nuerdanbieke throughout the week with a lot of confidence, and the confidence is not diminished. This matchup here, I think he's going to shine. His boxing should look pretty good, and he's got the takedown defense and physical strength. There is Sholinian Nuerdanbieke. There is Darrick Minner, and then there is a face-off. About the same height for both these two. Both guys in very quality shape coming to fight. Minner is a guy that I think needs that early submission. I mean, granted, has won decisions too, but he's a very fast starter, a guy that comes out a bit, maybe even over-aggressive at times. Sholinian Nuerdanbieke has the power to make you pay. He has the wrestling defense to match. I don't see him getting tapped out by Minner. I think Minner's probably going to try to look to pull off maybe a guillotine, a rear naked, something early. Because as it goes longer, I think Sholinian just continues to wear him down, beat him up, and I think TKOs him. I think there's a good chance that Sholinian Nuerdanbieke gets the win by KO TKO here, and I could definitely see it second or third round. As far as lines here, Nuerdanbieke minus 210, Minner plus 175. Nuerdanbieke to win KO TKO. I'm reading it off, but I'm not telling you to do it. It is plus 300. A little bit wide, but not a guarantee. I could see this fight going the full distance. Last one for Nuerdanbieke was a decision win over TJ Brown. Definitely possible he gets a decision over Darrick Minner here. Money line is the way to go. It is wide. It's a 2-1, but it's not that crazy. Sholinian Nuerdanbieke to beat Darrick Minner, and I'm feeling pretty damn good about that one. Next fight brings us to our main card. If you guys have not yet, smash the hell out of the like button. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel. This one here is very interesting. Mark Madsen versus Grant Dawson. Listen, Grant Dawson came in heavy at 155. He misses weight. He's not a 170, so he needs to make sure he's getting these weight cuts on point because it's going to be a persistent issue because I can't see him faring well up a weight class. Mark Madsen's an Olympic wrestler. I've been on Grant Dawson to win throughout the entire week. Let's pull up the scales real quick, and let's look at these guys. Mark Madsen, incredible shape. Grant Dawson looks a little dejected. And there's the face-off. The face-off is not like telling me anything crazy, but Dawson's a bit dejected. He comes in missing weight. This is not an easy fight to step in against a Mark Madsen. The weight miss is actually really hurting. I am leaning to the side. I mean, if you've already bet Grant Dawson, you're in for the ride and you ride with it. Because I was feeling pretty good about him early. But seeing him on the scale, seeing the weight miss, I'll ever so slightly still be picking Grant Dawson. But if you're actually considering throwing the money down, you have a fight that I think the odds are a little bit exaggerated. You probably got a dog or pass it at this point. With the weight miss, with the body language, I don't like what I've seen from Grant Dawson there. Now, I was talking earlier in the week, I didn't like Mark Madsen talking about he's still focused on Drakkar Klose when Dawson's a different challenge. But ultimately, he looks confident and ready to rock at the face-offs and at the weigh-ins. Madsen, he's a big dog, upwards of plus 195. Dawson in that minus 230 favorite range. I feel like touching the props here, more of a no-go. I don't know. I just don't like the props, especially seeing Dawson, man. How he looked, it doesn't look good. Sometimes after the weigh-ins, I don't flip the pick, but I'll tell you guys honestly when I'm not feeling great about something, and Dawson might be one of those guys. Ultimately, I saw something that made me pick him earlier on in the week and actually confidently pick him, But looking at him here with Mark Madsen, looking at the weight miss, the body language, the short notice fight, there are a lot of things to be concerned about. So if you are betting this fight, I think you're much better off betting on the possibility of an underdog winning as opposed to Grant Dawson getting it done. There's better money line bets if you're going for favorites. If you're going dog money, I think Mark Madsen honestly is a decent idea. Sometimes you got to do it, and this is one of the matchups that I think you might have to. Pick is Grant Dawson, no bet. And if you are betting, dog attack, Mark Madsen. Let's keep running up the card. Tagir Ulanbekov and Nate Maness. Listen, Ulanbekov has stated he plans on using the exact game plan that Umar Nurmagomedov was able to work on Nate Maness. Now, as far as the scales, I've been picking Nate Maness throughout the week, which it's not the most confident pick, but it's a dog attack, and I like his length. Look how long this fucking guy is. At 125, that's crazy. Tagir still got that mask on. Then there's the face-off. Tagir's supposed to be 3 inches shorter. I believe he's wearing shoes in this, whereas Nate Maness is barefoot, but quote me if I'm wrong on that one. Ultimately, Maness, a little bit longer, does have some sting in his punches. The biggest concern is going to be takedown defense. I think Nate Maness can squeak this one out on a decision. Might be even a split decision. I'll still ride with my guy Maness. Plus 190. Tagir Ulanbekov minus 230. As far as prop betting this one, over 2.5 is your money play. Like, if you don't want to touch the dog line of Maness, if you're like, I'm iffy about Tagir, I think over 2.5 is pretty damn likely, because if Tagir is to win, he's going to win a grinding decision. If Maness is to win, I see him winning a hard-fought match where he defends takedowns and has to kickbox with Tagir and have some success from range. It's going to be a hard fight no matter who wins it. I think it's one where they both go long. Minus 210 range for that over 2.5. I think that is the play, over 2.5 more than the rest. But we are riding with Nate Maness, quality dog money, if you are looking to throw down on him. But, you know, I don't think you go bananas on that dog pick. Next fight of the night, big boys, heavyweights. Josh Parisian versus Chase Sherman. I like the vanilla gorilla with the hands. I think he can win this one with his striking. Takedown defense, I feel like should be there against a Josh Parisian level wrestler. Chase Sherman's not your best bet. I'm picking him to win the fist fight, though. I do think it's a scrap. I think Sherman has quicker hands. I think that he's also just more versatile on the feet, whereas Parisian, I do think, has an edge if he is on top of Chase Sherman. From the top position, Josh Parisian's incredibly heavy. I mean, he weighed in at 265.5. Sherman at 255.5. We'll pull up the scales here. There is big boy Josh Parisian. There's Chase Sherman. Then there's the face-off. Parisian's a big motherfucker. I'll move myself for a second. He's thick around that midsection. But I think the striking differential will strongly favor the side of Chase Sherman. I'm going to pick him to win. I'm thinking third round KO TKO. Odds for this one, very close. Minus 135 for Sherman. Plus 115 Josh Parisian. As far as touching the prop side of things, I'm iffy on it. Over 1.5, I do think is pretty likely at minus 150. The Sherman get a KO TKO at plus 175, upwards of plus 190. Not worth playing it. To me, no bet fight. If you have to bet something, the over 1.5. But I am picking the vanilla gorilla Chase Sherman to beat Josh Parisian here. I think this will be a slobber knocker at heavyweight too. Co-main event. Neil Magny, Daniel Rodriguez. There was a lot riding on this fight for me as far as how the scales will look. The pick has been D-Rod, Daniel Rodriguez, throughout the week. And there he is on the scales. Looks pretty status quo if you ask me. On the opposite side, there's Neil Magny, who looks in great shape. And then there's the face-off. Something that I do like is the fact the height difference isn't super substantial. I mean, you know, few inches there, but I don't think it's a massive difference. I do think on the feet, at this point of their careers, Daniel Rodriguez will be touching up Neil Magny. He's got clearly better stand-up. Magny would have to work with clinch control. I think D-Rod's the physically stronger guy, and he's not an easy guy to take down. Daniel Rodriguez, decision win. I've been calling him the dog of the week all week long. He's ever so slight plus money at upwards of plus 110. Neil Magny around minus 120. We're going D-Rod to get it done. Now, as far as, do you go decision for D-Rod? Plus 310, I think there's a damn good chance that he does win it by decision at plus 310. D-Rod by decision's an okay prop. Money line him at plus 110. Great idea. Very confident. Slight underdog pick here. Daniel Rodriguez. We're still calling him dog of the week, though. It's ever so slight, but he's still dog money. Next fight brings us to the main event. If you guys haven't, smash the hell out of that like button. Marina Rodriguez and Amanda Lemos is a fantastic women's fight. This right here is number one contender probably at strawweight. I think Marina Rodriguez will shine in this fight with a more versatile game. As far as the scales, I want to bring those up. You know, we've talked about the technical breakdown all week. I'll bring up the scales just to see if anything changes. I just think Marina Rodriguez has more tools. There's Amanda Lemos. She looks in very good shape. She's a powerhouse. Very strong kickboxing. There's Marina Rodriguez. Looks solid. There's the face-off. Rodriguez is a lot longer, a lot taller. Got that height edge. Marina Rodriguez, I think, finds a lot of success after round 2. 3, 4, 5, she'll shine. I don't see Lemos knocking a Marina Rodriguez out. I think there's a chance Marina TKOs a tired Amanda Lemos in the 4th or 5th round. I'm riding with Marina Rodriguez. I'm actually going to pick her by that late KO TKO in a hard fight versus Lemos, but ultimately I think Rodriguez is just better as far as the grappling goes. She has the edge. As far as the gas tank goes, she has the edge. As far as the boxing, especially in close range, she has the edge. If you're talking about who has the better sniper shot from distance, I'll give it to Amanda Lemos, but Rodriguez can do more better, and that should lead her to victory here. Rodriguez to get it done. As far as the odds, she's a fairly sizable favorite, upwards of around minus 240. Deserving tag for Rodriguez with the skill set and the proven fact she's gone 5 rounds. On the opposite side, Amanda Lemos, plus 185, upwards of plus 195. I'm on Marina Rodriguez to win. I do think she might get it done later. Let's just look at Rodriguez KO TKO at around plus 240 money. Not bad. Upwards of plus 275. If you're looking at Rodriguez, maybe the round betting side, if you go Rodriguez round 4 or 5 KO TKO, shit, that's plus 2,000. No, that's just round 4. That's round 4 by itself. Got me excited. I'm like, damn, round 4 and 5. Rodriguez wins in rounds 3 and 4 is plus 700. Rodriguez wins 5 or decision plus 140. I guess you'd have to go 3 or 4 plus 700. That's a real wide Hail Mary prop. Money line is better. I know it's not the best looking line, but I'm pretty confident that Marina Rodriguez gets to win in this one and beats Amanda Lemos. And I think Rodriguez will be next up for the winner of Weili Zhang and Carla Esparza, which is going down next Saturday for UFC 281, which is a card I absolutely am stoked for. Guys, before I send you out of here, we got to do parlays. The parlay time. Let's talk about a parlay. Let's concoct the absolute masterpiece of parlays here. We'll keep it on the lighter side. We're going to go for one that I think delivers with less of your risk money right there. Shanna, Nuerdanbieke, Mario Bautista. It's minus 113. I know it's not even in the plus money, but it's highly likely. If you added Maverick, it brings you to plus 115. I do think she's definitely going to win, and I know she's a huge favorite, so it's not the best person to add as far as odds value. So you could go Jake Hadley, upwards of plus 160. I think that's a good way to run it. If you're feeling good about all these, you add in somebody like Daniel Rodriguez, you get upwards of plus 420. That 420 money is always, I think, good luck. I think there's a good chance that this happens. If I added Rodriguez into plus 650, you add Frey in plus 1,550. I went deep with the parlays on this week's Best MMA Bets. If you're looking to do them now and you are rewatching this week's Best MMA Bets, maybe leave Dawson out of some parlays just to secure yourself because the weight miss is concerning for me. This is, to me, fighters that you could add and mix and match in your parlays, and I definitely do believe you could play this one all together as your Hail Mary bet of the week, and I do think there's a shot that this shit comes through. And just by how bad Dawson looked on the scale, for fun, I'm just going to add this, and if you did add Madsen too, plus 4,517. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see what happens. Guys, those are the parlays. That was this week's weigh-in recap show. It was for UFC Vegas 64. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Smash the like button if you guys haven't. Subscribe if you're new. Make sure to turn on those post notifications. If you really enjoy the content, share the video. Definitely let me know in the comments what you guys think of the picks. And if you don't have anything to say, but you enjoy the content, as always, drop a W in the chat. Much love, my people. I will see you all tomorrow. Fight day, full card fight companion, as always. So keep it locked in right here at MMA Experts. Much love, my people. Peace.